and Mr. Gu. So first of all, it's self-introduction of the both of our guests. Good evening, dear viewers. I'm a researcher of the asteroid of the solar system from Chinese Academy of Sciences. And it's my great honor to join you to appreciate today's meteor shower. Dear viewers, good evening. I'm Gu Shenghong at the Yunnan Observatory, and my research fields are the extra solar system planets, as well as the objects outside the solar system, because we know that the sun is a planet, while we also have other objects such as asteroids. So I've been working in this business for many years, but we never take time out of our schedule to really appreciate a meteor shower. I actually did it myself not long after I began working at the astronomical observatory, and I joined my colleague to appreciate the meteor shower all night, and people marveled at this spectacular scene. At that time, I wasn't focusing on the research of asteroid, so I felt that this really is a very spectacular scene. Is this one of the reasons you begin to work in this field? Actually, no. It is because I have turned to do my research in asteroid and other celestial bodies, as well as the fixed stars. I actually have grew my interest. I have grown my interest in the research of meteors. And this year we have a lot of estimation as to the highest intensity, which is projected to happen on the 14th of December. That is the Greenwich time. So it will happen. The peak the highest intensity will happen at 0 o'clock Greenwich time, which is about 8 a.m. Beijing time. But it will not happen at one moment, and this kind of intensity of the meteor rain will grow gradually into that intensity. So, Mr. Gu, your research outside, you're an expert in terms of the celestial bodies outside the solar system. So, will meteor showers happen outside the solar system? Yes, of course. The solar system is quite a familiar object to most of our viewers, I'm sure. Actually, this kind of a system, celestial system, exists everywhere in the universe. And in some system, the meteor shower might be even more spectacular than the ones that we have observed on Earth. And in the future, we might know which will be the greatest spot to appreciate a meteor shower in the universe. And on the Earth, we normally would link meteor shower with the realization of wishes. So my wish is to join you to watch the meteor shower. So do you have any wishes of your own? Yes, I have my wishes. So can you tell us your biggest wish? Well, I think it's better not to tell. I like to keep it a secret. Can you have a guess whether we can watch the meteor shower? We can see the meteor shower from the moon. Well, I guess yes. Well, because we do not have this kind of atmosphere on the moon, and on the surface of the moon, you will see all of this mountains and dents. Which is actually the dents that is caused by the clash of meteors. So when they hit the surface, they will form craters on the moon. The meteor showers are formed before they enter the Earth, and this kind of the meteorite, when they enter the atmosphere, it will have a friction with the atmosphere, and it might burn in this process, and that's what caused the meteor shower. However, if there's no atmosphere on the celestial body, it will fall down to the surface of the planet, and we will call it the meteorite. That's what's caused the craters on the moon. And as Mr. Gu mentioned, and we can start the observation in about 20 minutes. So what do you want to observe in 20 minutes? Well, one of my fields of research is extrasolar system planets. Right now we're at Lijiang. Lijiang is a great observation spot for meteor showers and other celestial bodies and phenomena. So tonight we will be looking for some other celestial systems in the galaxy, and hopefully we can keep an eye on all of those extra solar system, this kind of objects. So what would be the ideal altitude to watch the meteor shower? Well, actually, the altitude is not the most important. It is the latitude that matters the most. The best location would be 33 degrees in terms of its altitude. So the lower latitude will be in a better position to watch the meteor garden. That's why we believe that in southern part of China, we will have a better angle to watch the meteor shower. So Hainan province will also be another ideal location to watch the meteor shower. So what would be the so-called mother asteroid for the meteor shower? Well, there are actually 3 asteroids. In terms of the orbit transformation, these 3 asteroids used to be one whole asteroid, and due to some clashes that happened long ago, and they have grew apart and broke into 3 pieces. So it's very special. So there are 2 other major meteor showers in the northern hemisphere. So can you tell us more about that? Well, I'm actually not an expert of the other meteor showers. So what would be the major content of the asteroids? Well, it's mostly formed by carbon. Well, contains the carbon element. What we have observed on the Earth when there is a meteorite when there's a meteorite that hits the Earth, you might notice that there will be some metal elements inside the meteorite. However, in the asteroid, about 70% of the content is carbon. But in the asteroid that is closer to Earth, they will have a higher percentage as to the metal concentration. Another reason why we notice that most of the content of the meteorite are metal is because a lot of the carbon are actually burned out during its entrance into the atmosphere. The December the 12th, the December the 14th would be the date for the Geminids to happen. So why do you think there is a fixed date for the appearance of this meteor shower? Well, it's like a date, and it never missed out. It's difference between meteor shower and meteors itself is because meteor shower would have its own orbit. So each fixed star will have its designated orbit around the around the sun. And it's the same story with the meteor shower. In this orbit, there are all kinds of asteroids, including the mother asteroid of the Geminids. The Geminids takes place on the December the 14th because that's the date when the asteroids come to a point with the biggest concentration of meteors, and will come right across the path with the Earth. So the date would be fixed, and the location would also be fixed for the radiant. So it's quite easy to determine the radiant of the meteor shower. So we are looking forward for your interaction with us. You can raise some questions. I have another question for our guests. Are all of the meteors scattered in a circle inside this universe? Well, inside the solar system, there are all kinds of celestial bodies. We have this kind of asteroid, which is at the inner orbit, and there are smaller ones, which is known as meteors. And they are concentrated in one orbit, and so they will be forming lines when they enter the atmosphere. We also can observe some single objects, these meteors, and they will be entering the universe, the atmosphere by chance, unlike the groups, the meteor groups. So the asteroids are moving along the Earth's orbit in an oval shape. So if it comes in a circle, I think it should enter the atmosphere twice a year. Well, that's theoretically true, but if you put that circle into the three-dimensional space, there would be one trespassing point. So will the meteor showers outside the universe different from what we have observed on Earth? Well, I don't think there will be much a difference. However, according to the available research, we have discovered more than 4,000 extrasolar systems, some of them with one planet, some of them with multiple planets. Only a small amount of the system is similar to the solar system, which is less than about 10%. That's why we say that there are a lot of celestial systems that have vastly different structures than our solar system. Therefore, if we can observe meteor showers in the other systems, they will be much different. They will be a lot different from what we have observed on Earth. and they might even be more spectacular or exciting than what we have observed on Earth. And people are asking whether they can observe the meteor shower in Chengdu. The answer is yes. It's a positive answer. So what would be the scope for us to observe the meteor shower? We know that the southern part will have a better chance to appreciate the shower. However, if you move to the north, Mohe, for example, you can still observe it, but under several conditions. First of all, this kind of meteor shower should be above the horizon and not covered or blocked by the shades of other buildings or the geographical features, landscape, or vegetations. So it's much more difficult to observe or even impossible to appreciate the meteor shower if you are at the northern part. We know that during the Geminids there are a lot of so-called fire meteor shower, which is an academic item. By definition, we can know that in astronomy, the fire meteors refers to those with airy blast. The reason why the blasts happen is for an asteroid with a dimension of more than 1 meters to enter the atmosphere. I don't know if you have observed the two blasts that happened in 2017. The whole sky will be lit up. Even with the air blast, in Shangri-La, for example, this kind of meteor shower have triggered major blasts, but no meteorites were found on the Earth. And in the second year, still in Yunnan province, after another major blast, multiple meteorites were found by the local farmers. When we observe the meteor shower, besides making a wish, how would it affect our life? Of course, to some extent, this kind of a meteor shower will hit the ground, hit the surface. But if by any chance it hit a person, this person might get injured. From when I was in 7th grade, I actually became very interested in the phenomenon of meteors. And at that time, I wondered if it was the aliens that were invading the Earth. By that time, a major blast happened in the previous Soviet Union, and people were worried about that it was an invasion. But if we look back from today, we know for sure that it will be a major bolide. Major bolide, which is a very natural phenomenon. Actually, a bolide of a big size may cause a threat to the living creatures on Earth. Therefore, it is actually quite urgent for us to work out how to prevent a bolide meteor of a bigger size to enter the Earth's surface, which might cause a threat to the safety of the earthly residents. So can you tell us more about your work at the observatory on a daily basis? So do you watch all of these celestial bodies from a telescope? Well, personally, as an astronomer, this is really it's a blessing to me. For our general public, it will be a good chance to learn a lot of information and to gain a chunk of knowledge which you don't obtain in the past. But for us as researchers, this really is a joyful thing on top of a lot of hard work. If you're studying, if you are working in an observatory, your biggest task is not to look up to the sky, but to look down to the statistics that you have collected and look into the physical regulations behind all of these phenomena. So it's much more difficult and actually boring than what you have imagined, because you would need a lot of very abundant math and mathematical and physical knowledge to work out a lot of theories. People asked where I work. I tell them that I work in the observatory, and people would admire my job, saying that you just work by looking at the stars on a daily basis. I would smile, and as Mr. Gu said, the work of an astronomer is boring and very difficult, sometimes from the eyes of the outsiders. We do have a lot of chance to look up to the skies, but most of the time we would be looking down to study the statistics. The astronomy today is much more different than what Galileo have done hundreds of years ago. And the astronomers at that time in history would normally observe all of these celestial bodies with their naked eyes, but today we will have more equipment, very advanced astronomical telescope to help with us, to assist us with our work. So as an astronomer, we believe that the study of astronomy can expand our vision in life. I remember that astronomers took a picture of the Earth when they took the flying when they took the rocket to go to the astronomy, to go to the universe, and they take a picture, and the Earth became a very small dot from the universe, and everything we have on the Earth, which seemed massive to us, the earth, the mountains, the countries, and all of our daily choirs seems quite small and insignificant if you observe from the earth. So knowing that, we can know that we can have a deeper understanding of what we are experiencing on earth, because our worries, our troubles, and our laughter and tears seems quite significant in the face of the universe. So as a younger generation and our viewers in front of the television, I think when you are encountered with difficulties in life, why not take a broader perspective and face all of these difficulties with a more positive attitude? Thank you so much for sharing with us. Let's take a short break before we come back to resume our live streaming, and we will bring you a very full-fledged angles in terms of observing the meteor shower. live stream of the Geminids, and we are expecting the highest intensity of the meteor shower, and people are asking when will the peak come. And I can only say that we need to wait and expect the meteor shower to come. And we will be right here with you to accompany you to admire this spectacular sight of the universe. I actually have reviewed a lot of our viewers' comments, and people are making wishes of the coming 2021, and people are wishing their family good health, and some are wishing to have a very good results in the coming examinations in December. People are wishing for a good results. Some other people are wishing for good results of their romance. So you're all welcome to share with us your wishes and your comments and some of your expectations about the future in the bulletin. As I've mentioned, today we are about to observe the highest intensity of the meteor shower, and we are still waiting for its peak to come, and may take some time. People are right now sending out their best wishes to their friends, their parents, their family, and themselves. People have actually leave with us a lot of comments, very positive wishes. Some people say that they've never observed a real meteor shower on their own. I actually have never observed a meteor shower outdoors. So we can take today as a great opportunity for you to observe this spectacular view from our live stream. So you're welcome to share with us all the wishes that you want to make and your aspirations for the coming year. Or you can tell us about your stories in the past year and your plans of the coming year. So today we are waiting for the Geminids to happen. And of course, the Geminids comes from the Gemini. So are you Gemini? If you are, you can leave a comment and let us know. And today we have this live stream to send you some of the positive energy. We're hoping to send the positive energy to all of you. We can see that a lot of our viewers are Gemini. So for all of you, if you are a Gemini, it must be a more special opportunity, a more special experience for all of you to join us in the wait for the Geminid. you can regard us as a mailbox to which you can send some of your wishes and your comments. We are all friends here. We can chat with you through our live stream. One of our viewers expecting a Gemini baby, and congratulations to you. You might be a Gemini, or you have some other kinds of connection with Gemini, and you're welcome to join us in the await for the Geminids. We can notice that in our live stream we have a lot of viewers, and we also have a friend from the Aquarius. And Leo. I'm also Leo, and I'm waiting for the Geminids like all of you. So if you're living in a city, it might be that much more difficult for you to observe the stars in your daily life. So today would be a great opportunity for us. And people are asking about how to adjust the parameter of the cameras if they want to take pictures of the meteor shower. I believe that we will find out later in our live stream. In today's live stream, we are accompanying all of you to admire this meteor shower. I think we can form this very special bonds between us and you. And I will continue to read out the wishes made by our viewers. And some of them are wishing good health to the family. Some are wishing for good fortune in the coming year. Some of them are wishing for good romance in the next year. And through our live stream, you can also make confessions to the ones that you love. Currently, from our live stream camera, we can see that this is a shot from the Helan Mountain of Ningxia. You can see a lot of beautiful stars that is hanging above the sky, the night sky, which is actually a rare scene if you're a city dweller. A viewer's comment: I've never seen a meteor shower on my own. I'd better take this opportunity to make a wish. That is a very good proposal. I believe that all of you will do the same while you see a meteor come across the sky. I wish that all of your wishes will come true. We wish that all of you can stay with us in our live stream. And we will right now move on to the next section of our live stream. And hope you can stay tuned. Live stream will be starting from now and will extend to 4 a.m. So the peak is expected to reach a peak at about 11 p.m. to about 4 a.m. And from 8 o'clock, we're expecting to see more and more meteors as time goes by. At about 12 p.m. we can see about 20 to 30 or even 3 to 4 meteors per minute. But it's fun to start the live stream right now. We will be inviting the engineers to join our live stream later in this program. From the right hand side, you can see that there are two stars which are Jupiter and Saturn. And on the right hand side, we can already see some meteors. On the right hand side would be the summer triangle. Across which would be the galaxy, also known as the Silver River. From the left-hand side, would be the zodiacal glow, which would be the universal dust in the solar system, and they will form this kind of the pillar of light. And right now would be a perfect time to observe such a phenomenon. We have a lot of colleagues and astronomical enthusiasts to join us. So there are a lot of locations that is perfect for us to observe the meteor shower. Qinghai, Beijing, Hebei, Yunnan, and Hebei province, and some of the northeast regions are expecting good weather, and which would be ideal to admire the meteor shower. We actually have joined each other in the meteor shower of Perseus. The Li Tian is a astronomical expert and who has much more knowledge than I do in this regard. So can you tell us more about some of the tips to appreciate and observe the meteor shower? I think the brightest object on the sky that we can observe would be the moon. And the Perseus meteor showers normally happens in August, while the Geminids usually happen during December. And the sky is quite clear, and we are at a perfect location in Yunnan's observatory to observe the meteor shower. If in your city, it's right now you are experiencing clear sky, I suggest that you go downstairs in about an hour and choose a location to watch the meteor shower. So the place with fewer lights, where the light when the environment is darker, would actually be better location to observe the meteor shower. But if you're in Beijing, even if you're in the for example, one time I was walking on the west third ring, I managed to see several meteors that came across the sky in at about midnight, several years ago, I think. Because I graduated from Beijing Normal University, and this actually happened during my college years. And I remember clearly that day when I see with my naked eyes the beautiful meteors that came across the sky. And at this peak, you're expecting to see 160 meteors in an hour. We can actually observe about 100 meters an hour even at this hour. However, the light condition is not too ideal at this moment, so we're expecting to observe a more spectacular view deeper into the night. And actually, yesterday in about 3 hours, if you use this high-definition camera, you can record about 700 meteorites. saying that if the cities that you're in are having very clear night sky, I suggest that you drive to a place with a darker environment and to appreciate the meteor showers. But honestly speaking, if you're in the city, you might not have a lot of chances to observe the meteor shower because the meteors will have to be very bright to overshadow the city lights, to outshine the city lights. So compared to people who are living in rural areas or suburban areas, you will have a smaller chance to take pictures of the beautiful meteors. But if you have the opportunity to come to one of the observatories like we do, you are it's very likely that you will see more than 100 meteors in an hour. But make sure that you, during your search for a location, first of all, you need to be safe. Make sure that you drive safe. And also make sure that you find a place that is darker and with open ground. That would be ideal. So about 2 a.m. tomorrow would be the best time, would be the perfect time, or the so-called peak for the intensity of the numbers of meteors. I think I saw one meteor just came across the sky. It is not very bright, but I did manage to see it. It is even darker than the northern star. So if you want to appreciate the meteor shower, you don't need professional equipment to assist you. You can just appreciate this beautiful night sky with your naked eyes. Of course, unless you are nearsighted, you need to wear glasses, of course. And make sure that you wear warm clothes. I actually have lost my hat, so I was quite cold. I'm quite cold at this moment. As you can hear from my microphone, the blow of the winds. And, the wind here in Lijiang is actually quite strong. Make sure that you wear thick clothes with you, double coat, wear your hats, and maybe carry a thermometer, a disposable thermometer with you, because it might be quite cold in the suburbs. In Yunnan, it's actually much warmer than some of the other places. It's about 0 to 5 degrees Celsius at night. In 2017, I think we were observing the Geminids in Daqing of Heilongjiang province. And at that time, the exterior temperature was about minus 30 degrees Celsius. And if I stand there for about 5 minutes in the outdoors, I will not stand. It will be really difficult for us to stay outdoors. And it's basically impossible for us to stay for much longer time than 5 minutes I actually had the same experience in 2017 when I was in my sophomore years. I joined some of the senior students to drive to Pingdingshan of Hebei province. In the Bashang grassland, we drove to the top of the mountain, which is about 2 meters in terms of this altitude. It was very cold. It was in during December. It was not as cold as Heilongjiang, of course, but we drove an electric car there. So in order to save electricity, we didn't turn the thermometer on. And we were also frozen to almost dead. And because it's freezing both inside and outside the car, which is also a very memorable experience for us. If you are patient enough and stay with us till 3 a.m., you can see the entire arc of the galaxy. I think I saw another meteor came across just now. So it seems that the observation of meteor shower is a cold experience in a literal sense. My experience happened in 2018 when we were observing the lunar eclipse. It was also freezing that night. We were above the mountains, on the mountain top, and my limbs are frozen. But we need to be there to maintain the equipment. Several hours later, I cannot feel my hands and my feet. So I lost my body temperature, and it was almost a near-death experience for me, to be honest. So if you are outdoors, strong wind and low temperature are actually a great threat to the observers. We suggest that at least we need to turn on the thermometers inside the heater inside your cars to keep you warm. And I also want to make another comment. When we are taking pictures of the lunar eclipse, I felt strange when I reached into my pockets, and there is a wet tissue inside my pocket and was already been frozen into a very hard object. And from this, you can tell how low the temperatures might be. We have several suggestions. You can turn on the you can adjust some of the parameters on your camera in order to see the lights clearly. You can also use the screen recording function to record the scene. And we have a lot of viewers who did the same yesterday. And tonight, because we're expecting the peak of the meteor shower, we are expecting much more meteors that will appear in the sky. Yesterday we were at the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain to observe the meteor shower. That environment is actually harsher than we are in today, the one that we are in today. There are several tips for you. So first of all, at dawn, when the Gemini began to rise from the eastern sky, there are several radiant spots over the angle of the Gemini. When it's at when it turns into the top of our head, you will have more angles to take pictures or videos. So about 3 to 4 a.m., the Gemini would be descending to the western sky. And you can turn your cameras into the different angle to take pictures of the other asteroids. Well, right now we need to take a minute to adjust the angle of the equipment so as to provide you with a better view of the meteor shower. Right now we are observing the eastern sky. At the top left angle, we can see, you can see that is the Orion. And you can also see Taurus. At the northern sky, there is a new star which is very shining very brightly. That would be the northern star. We are right now looking at the northern sky. And the easiest way to tell the northern star would be the angle of the Big Dipper. You can also see another constellation in the shape of an M. That would be the Cassiopeia. Here you can see a very clear trace of the galaxy. This is what the galaxy in winter and autumn would look like. Here you can see Vega as well as Altair. You can see Vega and Altair, and they are separated by the galaxy. You can see the zodiac light. And on top of our head would be the autumn sky, at the center of which would be a quadrangle, and you can also see the Andromeda at the right side. Currently, we can see part of the Sagittarius. You can also see part of the Capricornus and Aquarius, as well as pieces, part of the pieces, but they are not quite clear. These are very familiar zodiac to all of you. Some of them are easy to identify, Scorpios, for example, and Leo. You can see Capricornus. We're right now fixing our camera to the western sky, and in about an hour you will see that Saturn and the Jupiter will be moving to the down the horizon, and we're not able to see them anymore. We actually provide you with some tips to observe the Geminids, and here I like to tell you some tricks if you want to take pictures of the meteor shower, which is actually my territory. And some tips for you to take pictures of the night sky. If you only have cell phones at hand, currently, all of the domestically made cameras are capable of taking pictures of the night sky, including the galaxy. You can use this professional mode in your camera, in your cell phone camera, in which you can adjust the parameters, and you can adjust the focus, the light sensitivity, and the lens. You need long exposure to take the pictures. So it's ISO about 3000 and 3020 with exposure time about 30 seconds. And you also need to adjust your focus. And if you have adjusted the parameters well, you can just point the cameras to the sky. And if a meteor happens to come by, you will likely be able to take a very beautiful trace of the meteor. But make sure that during this time you do not touch the screen with your hands. You can have a remote control to adjust the shutter of your cell phone camera, or you can use voice control, because if you touch the screen, there will be a vibration on your cell phone and will not be able to form a very clear picture of the night sky. So if you really want to take the pictures of the meteors and the sky and the night sky, you need to wait and be patient. If you observe a meteor with your naked eyes, you can use the shutter. Some people may also choose this kind of continuous shooting, or the time-lapse photography to take videos and pictures of the meteors. So the tips: first, to use professional mode and adjust the parameters. And you will need a tripod as a fixer of your camera to make sure that your camera will have a stable environment to do the shooting. And third tip would to use voice control or remote control to control the shutter instead of using your hands to touch the screen. However, if it's possible, of course, professional cameras would be a better choice to take the pictures. I would suggest that you use the silent frame cameras and a camera with a very high intensity to lights. And that's why we need to choose the lens as well in order to take the pictures. You also need tripod to do that. And make sure that you adjust your parameters carefully. You will need the biggest aperture possible, 2.8 or even bigger. After you adjusted the parameters, make sure that you also use a remote control to take the pictures. You can also prepare multiple cameras that points to different directions of the sky in order to capture the maximum amount of shooting stars. I've talked about a lot of technical details. I like to use my own camera to take the pictures, so please give me some time to adjust my parameters, and we'll come back in a moment. Hello everyone, welcome back to the live streaming. And through our live broadcast, if you pay attention, you will notice that we have given you multiple shots from different locations of our country to show you the Geminids that is about to come. We have also invited a lot of guests to tell you more about astronomical knowledge. We've also heard from our viewers, and you've sent us your wishes, and some leave us with a lot of comment. One viewer's comment, Mr. Dai, the astronomical and star photographer, have shown us how to adjust the parameters of your cell phone to take pictures of the night sky as well as the meteor shower. First of all, you need to turn a switch into professional mode and adjust the parameters such as the focus, the light sensitive, as well as aperture. But before you start shooting, you need to stabilize your cell phones on the tripod in order to conduct long-term exposure during this shooting. He has also shared with us the parameters in terms of light sensitive, which is about 3,200 to 6,400. And the time of exposure is about 30 seconds. And you can point your cameras to the night sky to do this kind of time-lapse shooting. You need to wait sometimes for a long time to capture one moment of beauty. If a meteor shoot across the sky, and if you're lucky enough, you can take a picture of it. In the last time section, I've also reviewed some of your comments in our bulletin. You've left us with a lot of comments. One viewer's comment: can you tell the sky from the sky? He shared with us experience in 2015 when this person's friend shared the news of the Geminids. However, he failed to see this beautiful meteor shower, but the friend actually sent this person a box of candies in the shape of stars. I think this is really a beautiful memory for us to cherish if you can ever encounter a good friend like this one. Currently, we have a lot of viewers that join each other from different locations of the Earth to wait for the meteor shower to come. And us in the studios are also accompanying all of you to wait for this best moment to come. I think this is a rare experience for all of us. You have no idea who is waiting with you on the other side of the live stream, but we are all here for this moment. Our viewers continuously are asking when can we see the meteor shower. However, beautiful things like this and that will impress us are worth waiting, so we might need to wait a bit longer for this spectacular view. We have prepared a lot of content and rich information. You're all welcome to join us for a chat. Another viewer's comment. The night sky is becoming darker. We can also tell you more about some of the differences of today's Geminids. Today we are expecting to see the highest intensity in terms of the numbers of asteroids. And at its peak, we're expecting to see about more than 150 asteroids, 50 meteoroids in 1 minute. You can observe the meteors with your naked eyes if you can find a open ground without the interference of city lights or artificial lights. Currently, you are observing our shot from the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain in Yunnan province. You can see the twinkling of the stars from our cameras. You can follow multiple sources to follow our live stream, to tune in for our live stream, Douyin account and Weibo account of CCTV. And people are making wishes at this very special moment. Another viewer's comment. And this person actually marvels at the twinkling of the stars. It's really a beautiful sight, isn't it? The wishes are keeping to come. The wishes keep coming. Here, on behalf of all my colleagues in the studio, I wish all of you good health. How many of you are waiting to see the meteor rain in outdoors? If you are, please leave a comment, because it must be cold outside, so make sure to keep warm. Another viewer's comment. It's my first time to wait for the coming of a meteor rain in this manner. If you've been following our live stream, you might notice that we have taken several different angles, and we are broadcasting to you through different locations. I hope that all of you can follow the live stream, and some of our colleagues have already seen these beautiful meteors. I hope all of you can appreciate this meteor shower later in our program. We've chosen several locations, the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain in Yunnan province, and the Meili Snow Mountain, and the Haba Lake Reserve in Ningxia, and so on. You can leave a comment to choose your favorite location. And our director will also change the shot and shift the shot to different locations. Another viewer's comment, I already saw 3 meteors that shot across the sky. Well, you're really lucky. As long as you wait, there will be miracles for all of us. Through patience and waiting, this beautiful sight with the meteor shooting across the sky will be within your observation. Our viewers are from Jilin, Ningxia, and some other locations. And please make sure that you stay tuned with us. And I'm sure that in the end, you will be able to see these beautiful meteors that shoot across the skies. And that's all for my section at this hour. And please continue to follow us and leave your messages and comments. If you observe one meteor, make sure that you leave a comment to let us know. We will now move on to the next section. Dear viewers, welcome back to our live stream. I believe that some of viewers are at home and some are outdoors. Here with me is an astronomical teacher, Mr. Yang. The Geminid meteor showers, one of the 3 major meteor showers in the southern atmosphere, along with Perseus and quadrantial meteor shower. And it is very time-honored meteor shower because its meteoroids are quite stable with 3 asteroids and with a very steady flow, who almost never let us down, and they will come every year from December the 4th to the 17th. Tonight we are hopefully about to see the maximum intensity of the meteor rain, and if you like, you can enjoy the meteor shower all night. And this, I think today it happened to be the new moon, the period for the new moon. I think this is a perfect time and scenario for us to appreciate the meteor shower, because the light of the meteors will not be overshined by that of the moon. The peak would be about 150 meters per minute per hour. Here is the special equipment. So can you tell us more about the utility of this equipment that might prove to be helpful to our enthusiasts? I think the most convenient way would be to watch it with your naked eyes. But if you're living in the city, you can use this telescope. And this is a binocular for you to watch the meteors. It's 7 multiplied by 50. That is, its dimension is about 50 millimeters. And how much for a set of telescope like this? It's about 600 yuan, or 600 to 1,000. I think 600 would be enough. This is the star pointer. If you're with someone who knows very well about all of these zodiac, they can use. We can use this kind of pointer to help others know more about the horoscope. So the name Geminid is actually a Western name. And it belongs to the 12 zodiac. In Chinese, it has a different name. It's called the 北和二, which is the literal meaning of a double star. And as you know, the literal name of Gemini, translation of Gemini in Chinese, it also means that it's a twin. So it's different yet similar in some way. But this twin star do not locate at both sides of the galaxy. However, they are at the different sides of the zodiac. So the zodiac in the Chinese myth means the path for the emperors to pass, the path for the emperors to go by. Therefore, it's a very important location. So this kind of twin star would be the guardian of this important passageway. The Chinese actually have a very long history of observing the stars. And the Asian people would actually have their own way to identify and locate this kind of constellations. This year, as we mentioned, the peak is a bit different than the previous years. And during the peak time, you can observe more than 150 meteors per hour. So at least you can observe 110. This is more than normal years, which during 1 hour you can see about 90 to 120 stars on an hourly basis. However, we want to remind you that if you want to appreciate the night sky in the evening or in the outdoors, make sure to keep yourself warm. To keep yourself warm, if it's 10 degrees Celsius, minus 10 degrees Celsius where you are, you need to make sure that you wear enough clothes to sustain temperature that is below minus 20 degrees Celsius. You can carry some portable heaters with you. You also need to prevent frost from forming on your telescopes. If you want to take pictures, make sure that you keep your cameras warm and make sure that you have a backup power source, because the temperature are dropping and the power will drop much faster than if we are at normal temperature. We're now about to move outdoors, and Mr. Yang will be pointing with the star pointer to the different directions and the zodiac as well as constellation. We'll be back in a moment with more detailed explanation and the location of Gemini and some tips for the future observation. Currently, we are at outdoor. We are near the Songhua Lake of Jilin province, and we are at the mountaintop of Daqing Mountain. The reason why we come to the top of the mountain is that we want to avoid the city lights from outshine the stars. And currently, the outdoor temperature is minus 25 degrees Celsius, which is freezing. So where can we discover the Gemini? Right now, we are facing the eastern sky. If you look at this constellation, this is the King of Winter constellation. And this is the Orion. You can also see the Big Dip, the Big Dipper. Sorry, it seems that the pointer is not very clear to our viewers. We can make some adjustment. If we look to the northern side, you can see there are two bright stars. This is the Castor as well as the Pollux. So, which is the heroes of the two brothers in the Greek history, in the Greek myths. And Castor is the brother, and Pollux is the brother. It's the younger brother. Castor is the older brother. So these two brothers are quite fighty with each other, and they like to fight each other. And they're the son of Zeus. And they are also very friendly with each other. And they then become this kind of twin star, the Castor and Pollux, also known as Gemini in the Western culture. This constellation would have its own trace to move across the sky. It rises from the eastern part and drop at the western part of the sky. It's very similar to the trajectory of the sun. So that is also the trajectory of the meteor shower. For a meteor shower, it will have its own radiance, and the point of radiance of the Geminids is, of course, the Gemini. Currently, we can have a better look of the night sky. Hopefully, we can see several meteor shower, several meteors. So what kind of equipment should we use if we want to take pictures of the meteors? I think we need to choose ISO with high imaging definition, and the light sensitive is about 20,000 for now. That is the highest that the camera will allow. You also need to choose a bigger aperture. We're not taking pictures or time-lapse cameras. If you want to take pictures, you also need to make adjustment to the aperture. As well as the shutter. And you also need to choose the camera, the lenses, very carefully. As I mentioned, the bigger the aperture, the better. With about 1.4 or 1.8, I think I would prefer to use the 1.4 aperture. What are the other tips of taking pictures? If we look closer to the camera, you may see that frosts are forming at the exterior of the camera. You need to prepare backup batteries. In the cold winter, the power of the cameras may drop much faster than when it's at normal temperature. And our live stream takes a very long time, so we must have this kind of backup power to sustain the operation. We can also use this kind of heater to keep the cameras warm, so that will not shut down automatically. We have two cameras at our location. One points at the sky, and the other would include the image of the city lights and the mountains, as well as the sky. And hopefully we can take a beautiful picture of a meteor that shoots across the sky above the city lights. I believe that will surely be a very spectacular scene for us to observe. We can also do some post-production. Which can highlight the sky, and also darken the lights of the city in order to bring out the traces of the meteors. As I mentioned, the Orion is the clearest horoscope. There is also a famous star at the foot of the Orion known as Sirius, which is also depicted in one of the very famous Chinese poems written by Su Shi. It can be observed in Ningxia and Gansu. At the left foot of the series, there is a constellation in the shape of an arrow, of an this bow and arrow would point directly to Sirius, which is exactly the same with the depiction in this ancient poem. Today's weather is actually perfect for the observation of the constellations. You can see that the temperature is quite low. We've only been out for several minutes and frosts are already forming at my collar. If you do not have cameras with you, professional cameras, you can use your cell phones and change into this special mode to take pictures of the traces of the stars. And by chance, you can also take pictures of the trajectory of the meteors. So at the special mode in your cell phone, there might be a special mode for you to take pictures of the night sky. But whatever mode you use, make sure that you have tripods with you to stabilize your cameras. We find some frosts forming on the camera. We will go back indoors in order to resume our live streaming. So if you are experiencing in your city, if your city has very clear night sky, you can try to observe the meteor shower. I don't know if you have your wish list ready right now and making wishes to the meteors, to the stars. And hope you are, and welcome back to the live stream of the Geminids. Especially if you are at the southern part, and you can go outdoors to observe the meteor shower. morning, dear viewers. I'm Yang Hongyang, a reporter of CCTV. And right now we are at Inner Mongolia. The reason why I'm here at the live stream is because we are on a very important mission. We were on a very important mission of Chang'e 5. It's actually a star, an artificial star that is produced on our own. So we'll spend several minutes to talk about this artificial star produced by the Chinese. The reason why I'm the one to talk to you about the Chang'e 5 is because I've been following the preparatory work from the production to the transportation to the launching of Chang'e 5. Right now we're at the mid-eastern area, which will be the designated location for us to retrieve Chang'e 5 after it returns to the surface of the Earth. If you've been following the astronomical news closely, today is a very important time slot because Chang'e 5 today has just finished an important movement. It has returned to the transfer orbit of the Moon and the Earth. And there are two capsules. One is the orbit capsule, and another is the returning capsule. There's also the launching capsule and the landing capsule. So the lander will be left on the surface of the Moon, and the launcher is controlled to be dropped as part of to be dropped and burned on the surface of the Earth so as not to leave garbage in the universe. The temperature of Inner Mongolia right now is about minus 30 degrees Celsius. As you can see, it is snowy heavily outside. We have done some outdoor shooting today, and we've experienced a heavy storm. And a lot of the roads were blocked during daylight. And the vehicle was actually trapped in the snow for some time before the rescuers came to help us out. So it's a bit dangerous to be working here. But with the heavy snow, the scenery is quite beautiful. In several days, you can see some of the vlog that we shoot here. In several days, you will be seeing the landing of the Chang'e 5. I also have been reading your comments at the bulletin, and you can leave your comments and questions about the meteors as well as Chang'e 5 and see if we can give you a satisfactory answer. Our viewers from across the country are watching the meteor showers from different locations. and you've been sending out your wishes, making wishes. And people are asking about when will the meteor shower begin. It has already begun, and its peak will arrive at in the morning of tomorrow. So if you have any questions about Chang'e 5, you can leave your questions at the comment section. The temperature is quite low in Inner Mongolia, and in the past few days, the temperature averages at minus 30 degrees Celsius, and the remnants of the snow can be as deep as our ankle or even our knees, and it's quite cold outside during our shooting. If you've been following the news closely, the Inner Mongolia are always the designated location for the landing of a lot of our landers. The re-entry capsule of Chang'e 5 was also designated to Inner Mongolia. You might be curious to the mission of Chang'e 5. I can give you a brief introduction. Last month, we launched the Chang'e 5 with the Long March 5 carrier rocket, and the Chang'e 5 probe was transferred from earthly orbit to moon orbit. It has 5 capsules: the lander, the re-entry, the ascendant capsule, as well as the transfer capsule. So the lander and the ascender lands on the surface of the moon. Then the orbiter, as well as the re-entry capsule, are waiting at the lunar orbit, waiting for the rest of the capsule to return. And the lander will be collecting samples on the surface of the moon. And this mission is a part of an important mission of our lunar probe. This is the term 3 mission of our lunar probe. In the first 2 rounds, in the first 2 terms, we have successfully accomplished the surrounding of the orbit as well as the landing on the moon. And this time, we need to do some unprecedented work, that is the returning of the capsule. We need to collect the samples of the moon, and then we will take the samples of the Earth and come back, take samples of the moon and we'll come back to the Earth. This is unprecedented in the history of China's astronomy. So there are several firsts. The first time for us to land on the moon and return after sampling and the categorization of the samples. So how do we collect samples on the surface of the moon? We have 2 plans to do that. First is drilling, and second is collecting from surface. we actually have equipped our lander with a drill so as to go deeper into the surface of the moon to take the samples of from the deeper part of the moon. We can also use the surface collector to collect different samples. The only countries that have finished these missions are the previous Soviet Union as well as the United States. This is quite a complex mission, and we have created a lot of firsts in our history. For us to take the samples back to Earth, you will need to launch the capsules from the moon surface, from the lunar surface, and it needs to enter the lunar orbit and then realize this transfer from the lunar orbit to the Earth orbit. So it's the first extra Earth, the landing outside the Earth from another celestial body. That's the first. We also would need to shift these samples from the moon surface to transport it from the lander to the re-entry capsule. This is also a first in our astronomical history. And then the orbiter, as well as the re-entry capsule, will take part of the moon and fly towards the Earth. Tonight, most of our colleagues are at the Flight Control Center in Beijing to monitor closely the orbit as well as the connection and monitor of the samples on the moon. And today we actually have successfully adjusted the flying mode. And this orbit re-entry complex have already entered the returning orbit. And coming up, this complex will re-separate, and the re-entry capsule will be returning to the Earth and will be landed in a certain location in Inner Mongolia, for which I will be keeping a secret for now. It's at the middle part of the Inner Mongolia region. A lot of our viewers are leaving comments at the bulletin of our live stream. Many of our viewers are waiting for the coming of the meteor shower. People tend to make wishes during the meteor shower, and I would actually do the same. I will also keep it a secret and hope that my wish and all of your wishes can finally come true. And that's all for my part. You can continue to stay tuned for our live stream.